Hi guys, welcome to another interesting video tutorial on Angular 7 by TechTechTuts. In this particular Angular 7 video tutorial, we are going to learn about Angular 7 forms. Especially, we will learn about template-driven forms, and later we will see reactive forms, so how they will work. So in this today's video tutorial, we are going to talk about template-driven forms. So without any if and buts, why and what's, let's get into it. So guys, forms are very essential part of any web mobile application or in your real life as well. You will see different kinds of forms wherever you go: submission forms, contact forms, travel forms, property lease forms, and there are many kinds of forms you see in your real life as well. So Angular make it very easy to handle different kinds of forms, and Angular supports mainly two types of forms: template driven forms and reactive forms. In this particular video tutorial, we will talk about template driven forms, that how can we create them, how can we use them, and how can we validate them. So first we will see that how can we use template driven forms in Angular 7. I have created an application, a skeleton application with default settings using Angular 7 CLI command line ng. So ng new and ng 7 forms. And to create template driven forms, either you use a component or you can use app component.html files. So as this is in a tutorial only, so that's why I'm going to use app.component.html. So template driven forms are basically designed as we design HTML forms, only they will have some special Angular directives, events or directives or click handlers. So we will add them. So here I will create a simple form without any styling. So this form will have a form tag, and we don't need any action. And after that, it will only have one input text field and one input submit field. So for submit field, we'll have the submit value, and that's it. This is our form, but this is our HTML form. To make it work with Angular yet or template driven forms, we need to import a module inside app module.ts file. So here we will import forms module from Angular/forms, and that's it. After that, just add it into imports array inside ngModules as forms module, and we are good to go. After that, in this app.component.html file, you just simply need a event handler which will be handled as a form submission. So we call it ng submit is equal to, and then we will assign it any function which we will create in app.component.ts file. So in the app.component.ts file, here we will create on submit, and here we can console log over form. So here I will use an e variable. So for now, e is a variable which will accept the form submitted form. So here we will see console.log e, so that we can check it inside the browser. After that, inside app.component.html file, we need to give this form a template literal or template name. So we give the form's name as form1. We will name it form1 is equal to ng form. So ng form is a directive, so we simply give form1 a name ng form type, and after that we will simply pass this form1 to the submit form, and this will be redirected to the on submit page, and then we will console log it. That is very simple. And when you are using this form element, then you have to give name attribute to all your inputs. So name is username, and this name is submit. So we have given both a submit button and input name, username, names. After that, we simply reload our page, and then we will go to console so we can see what kind of values we will get. So I will type here something, and then just press submit button. Sorry, I pressed it 3 times, so just simply press once, and then it will return us an object where we have a form object, and inside form objects we have a controls, and currently if you see, controls are empty, and also there is another value parameter. This one is also empty. So how to get the form's value? It's quite simple. Inside your form, we need to use an ngModel. So to use the ngModel, either we need a simple variable over here. So suppose I create a variable name or a model name. I can create a model with an object. So it is an object user is equal to name, and from the start it's empty, or simply let it to be the name only, right? So then I can use ngModel here, directive ngModel. This directive is using two-way binding. So here I will do user dot name simply, and then it is done. And after that, now I will, if I reload the page, everything is good. And now if I type here TechTechTuts and press the submit button, and now if I go to the form array, sorry, you will see controls username as well as you will see value username. So you can get this value using value parameter, or you can use the controls to control the username to check its status. Like if I simply type here console.log e dot controls into name, it is an array dot status, and it is a status, so it will say either it is valid or not valid. So there are different properties which we can access. So you see it says e dot controls dot name is not is undefined, can't access status. Controls into name, I think it is not name. Let me see, I think I put it username. Yeah, it was username here. It was username, not the name. Sorry for that. So I will submit it again, and you see a valid information here. It is saying valid. So this is how you can access different values from your controls easily. Also, if you don't want to go too much long, you can simply do value dot username, and it will give us the value, whatever value is in the form. You see it is now showing the value of that particular form. We have set TechTechTuts and it's same displaying it. So now we can assign this to any variable. Also we can do like this, user dot name as well. Sorry, this dot user dot name, and after that if we reload the page and we type again something, and it will be given the same value. So this is how we can use template driven forms inside Angular. Next we will see how to validate these forms. So now let's see how can we validate these forms that it does have a valid value. For validation, we simply need to do here, sorry, we need we can do two things. First, if we do here disabled is equal to, and I put here form1 dot invalid. So if form1 dot is invalid, and invalid, how it is invalid? So because we have required this field. If I reload the page, and if I go to submit button, you see this form, if submit button is disabled because form is not yet valid because I haven't put anything inside this. And if I click it here, and still form is disabled, and as soon as I type something in it and press the submit button, now you can see the submission is working now. And if I remove everything from here, again submission is not working. This is one way of form validation. The other form validation is displaying user-friendly error messages. So suppose this form is required input text field. So here we can use another template literal for this input text, and we can use it like this. Name is equal to now if we type here username, so username is also a variable, so we can't use that username here. This one we cannot use username. So here it says that there is no directive with export as such. So sorry, we need to put here ngModel, not name. So name, now we can access name variable and check if there is any error. So suppose I create a div here, and we use ngif, and now we can say name is invalid, or we can say and name is dirty, or name is dot touched. So what we are saying is here that name is invalid, name is dirty, or name is untouched, then don't show this field. So here we will simply define here ng if name dot has error required, and then we can display here username is required field, simple like this. So now if I go to the form, you will not see any error message here until I click and then I navigate out of it and it says username is required field. So this is how we have validated our form, and submitting is also disabled because we have to put a username. So suppose I put here like this, and now you see the error is gone. You can style it with different classes as you like. So this is one, we have put one validation here. We can put multiple, like I can say min length is equal to 6 character. So at least we have to put 6 characters. So here I can put another if statement, sorry, and if I put here ng if is equal to name dot has error min length, then minimum 6 characters are required. This will be the error message. So now if I go again to the form is showing nothing error. So if I click here and navigate out, it will now saying username is a required field. So now I will type something like 3 characters. You know, it's saying minimum 6 characters are required, and still our form is not, submit button is not valid. So as soon as I type more than 6 characters, the form gets into valid. So this is how we put validation on Angular 7 using template driven forms. Hopefully you like this tutorial. If you did, then don't forget to press the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, then please do consider and subscribe to it. Thank you very much for watching this video tutorial till the end. Take care and goodbye.